Hey, thanks for joining me here today. How to become a public speaker in schools. Oh, that's awesome that you want to do this, or maybe you are already doing it. I'm going to give you 7 proven tips as to how you can make this happen for yourself. So I'm going to give you some ideas as to how you can create opportunities for yourself to get into schools and to speak and not just wait for them to be handed to you, because that often doesn't happen. And I'm going to show you how I did this myself, because it wasn't handed to me either. In fact, a lot of people wonder, hey, was that just so simple for you to become a guy that's spoken to? I bet I've spoken to about 500,000 kids through my career as a speaker and guy doing assemblies for kids. And so I had to really hustle to make it work. These are some of my ideas, and I know that they're going to help you. Plus, I'm going to share as a bonus the secret weapon all speakers need to learn and do in order to make this happen. So here we go. First of all, let others know that you are a speaker for schools. I know that may sound obvious, but for some reason, if I go to a website of a speaker who's really struggling to get speeches at schools, I notice right away that they have not articulated that well on their website. Maybe they have pictures of themselves high-fiving students and stuff, but you're not exactly sure what they're doing. Make sure to tell everybody that you want to be a speaker at schools. In fact, I like to encourage people to even tell their family, their friends, people they work with. It doesn't matter, tell everybody. Make sure that it's prominent on your website, that it says education or assemblies or fundraisers or school events or parent nights. There are plenty of ways to articulate that you speak to schools on your website. Also, don't forget the teachers, because, hey, if you're speaking at an assembly for a bunch of kids, maybe even later in the day you could be a speaker for the teachers. Now, some people are in the category of saying, I just want to speak to kids. I get it, that's cool. But just so you know, that's where I was over a decade ago. I only want to speak to kids. And guess what? Now, I only speak to teachers. I don't even speak to the kids anymore. I know it's a wacky transition. It would have been really helpful to me if I would have been interested in speaking to the kids in the morning and then asking if I could speak to the teachers in the afternoon. Then I could have spoken to way more teachers by now. Instead, it's taken me a long time to get into that teacher mode to be able to speak to them. So maybe you could do both at the same time. The next thing to do is to offer to speak at schools. Now, I just told you that you need to tell everybody that you speak. That's one thing. The next level is, yes, offer to speak at the schools. Now, how do you do that? Well, it might seem tricky, and you might feel like, well, this sounds like I don't want to go to a school and throw my name in their hat. Well, go try it at your own kid's school. I dare you. Walk in the front door, ask if you could talk to the assistant principal. That's usually the person who decides who speaks. And if they won't let you talk to them for whatever reason, then go on the website. When you go on the website, just go to faculty or staff, and then there's a drop-down box. You can find the leadership of the school. You can email the principal, usually not even bother with you, so don't take the time to do that. Assistant principals, that's what they're looking for. Assembly speakers, teacher trainings, all of those things regarding student stuff, and you is through the assistant principal. The other one you could check out is on the staff page. It also shows counselors, and it will also show a place where you can find things like FFA, FCCLA, DECA, HOSA, those types of, even the SBO leaders. Those are people that you can reach out to, and that's a really great way to do it. In fact, while I was saying that, I was just thinking, man, you could even, through Instagram, go to the school that you want to speak at, and you could find the SBOs and go send them a message. Obviously you got to be professional about it, but just say, hey, I'd love to come speak at your school. Check out my video. You never know. It's interesting what SBOs can get done. In fact, my son is an SBO right now. Maybe I should go tell him I want to speak at the school. Number 3, you need to offer to speak for free. I encourage that first before you start asking for a fee, especially if you're cold calling off the street or if you're like a parent or something. It's nice to show up and say, hey, I just want to serve. And when you show up and you speak for free, this allows you to get a couple of really neat things. For example, you can set up a video like I have right here with you and me talking. Setting up a video is really a powerful thing, because then it shows that I'm a speaker. So take your video with you, set up your camera, and if you are really high level, you'll bring a videographer with you. That's even cooler. It's one thing to have video, it's another thing to have photos. To have photos allows you to then post on social media a little bit easier sometimes than a video even, and so having both is really helpful. One of the things you want to do is not only capture your own video of yourself giving your speech so you can watch it, but also so then you can cut it up and share it as a promo video for the assistant principal or the people that are going to decide if they should have you come speak. Some people want to see the entire length of the presentation. I don't recommend sending that out if at all possible, but you could send them like a 10 or 20 minute chunk just so they can get the idea. The other thing you want to do is get videos, if you can, from teachers that are there, as well as from any other faculty that was watching. And I've even had videos with the kids where we just blurred out their face or we just put a black screen over it with words so we could hear their voice and them be so excited about what they just saw as me as a speaker. The other thing you really need to figure out is your email pitch. If you're going to be pitching them through the website or on social media or some other way, being able to have something that really punches through the noise of all the emails that these teachers are going to get. And so in the subject line, you probably want to put something like speaker request, or ready to speak at your school, or your next school assembly, or the speaker for your teachers. You know, those types of things would be catchy enough to an assistant principal to click open. Now, you need to write something real quick and catchy, such as, I've spoken all over the country for students for years. I would love to come do an assembly. Here's my promo link. And that's it. Don't write a big lengthy email. Don't quote fees. Don't do any of that. Eventually, even though I said offer to speak for free, eventually you'll be able to start charging a fee. But to get started in the schools, I believe you have to come at them with the opportunity that you're giving them something, and then eventually you can start charging a fee. The fourth way that I like to recommend people become public speakers at schools is to create your own event for the school. Now this might sound really crazy, but I did this years ago and it was so helpful to me because all I did was went to the school and I said, hey, who needs help with fundraising? And they were like, everybody. And I said, well, who in particular? They said, the choir needs to go on a trip. The cheerleaders don't have the uniforms they need. The football team needs funds raised. I said, okay, well, what if we put together a fundraiser for the three of those groups? And then we did a parent night. And I did an assembly where it was like a excitement assembly around pushing people to come to the parent night, and that's a fundraiser where I would speak and perform, then we would raise money. We'll split the fee, 25-75 or 50-50, whatever you decide. I'm just telling you, this was a very quick way to make money as a speaker, but also an even cooler thing was to help raise money for a cause that really needed it. The fifth thing you can do is find an advocate, somebody who is truly a decision maker and a mover and a shaker. My friend Charisse Hilton has been that person for me in the schools for years. So Charisse first saw me when she was an assistant principal, and she liked it so much that she then has taken me to every school where she has since been the principal, as well as she is over many, many associations, whether it's parents, teachers, students, leadership, you name it, she's used me there. Now she's my advocate. So when she calls, I say, I will do it for whatever fee you need me to do it for. She always tries to help me get the money. But the thing about Charisse I appreciate so much is that she shared me with everyone everywhere. So when you find an advocate, it may very well be the first person that books you and they go, ooh, I like you, I want to help you. Maintain that relationship. Become a good friend. They're going to open doors for you that you never could for yourself. And all you have to do is continually reach out and say, who can I speak to next that you can introduce me to? It's amazing what will happen when you remind them that you're there. Number 6 is to give them every opportunity to book you and give them every opportunity to be in your back pocket. That means I have a friend named James and a friend named Buffy, and these are people that are important to me. They have me in their back pocket. I love them. If they call me and they say, hey, we need you for this event, I'm there. And so be ready to do whatever it takes for any opportunity that they offer. And then of course there's the associations for students. I've already named a couple of them, but think about it. When you were in high school, think about how many there were. FFA, FCCLA, FBLA, DECA, HOSA. I mean, you name it, there's a million of them, it seems. But if you have the opportunity, you can just go to the school and say, I'd like to come in and speak to the future leaders of America. You know, you can come up with whoever you want to talk to and just say, I want to come in and talk about speaking. They would love that, or communication. You choose what you want to say. You go in and you speak to that class, even for 5 or 10 minutes, and then say, I'd love to come and do a meeting for your school another time, or I'd love to come do a chapter meeting. What's interesting about even when I've done this, I've gone into the school, offered to do just a quick little message to their class. Next thing I know, I'm speaking to the chapter of the state. Next thing I know, I'm speaking to the national group, 5,000, 10,000 kids. Sometimes it's 20 to 50,000 kids. These lead to great things, and they've all led because I walked to the school, opened the door, told the assistant principal I want to come and speak to this particular group about this subject. They let me walk in, I do it for free. Next thing I know, I'm making a fee. One of the secret weapons I promised I'd share is that you need to check out a guy named Josh Shipp. Josh Shipp is one of the great mentors that I've ever seen for people wanting to be a school speaker. So go check out joshshipp.com, listen to his podcast. The man is brilliant. He's done it better than anybody I've ever seen. Follow him in all that he does, and he will help you to learn more about how to get more speeches at schools. Final bonus, collaborate with other speakers. Yeah, if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I've tried all of those things, Jason, you're telling me what I've already heard. Okay, when is the last time you collaborated with another speaker who is in the schools? It's time to reach out to them. It's time to promote them and help them. If you'll help them get a gig, they'll help you get a gig. If you guys go both to the school together as friends, they will help you. It's a fascinating thing. I've seen this happen with multiple speakers. When they were struggling to get enough events or opportunities, they just partnered up with another speaker, not like a joint venture or like a partnership officially through the legalities of the law, but just as friends, walking in, helping each other, like a wingman, vouching for one another. Makes all the difference in the world. I hope that these tips have helped you to become a public speaker at the schools, and I wish you the best. I'm excited to see you do that. Thanks for joining me.